Anyway, look, wow.
Interesting. Look at.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, will you all please rise for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Be seated, roll call.
Trustee Tuffarelli.
Here.
Trustee Thomas. Here. Trustee Wright.
Here.
Trustee Wazak.
Here.
Mayor Fair.
Here. Before we move on to tonight's meeting, regular business agenda, we have a special presentation. I want to remind everyone who's on Zoom or in the room, that the month of February is Black History Month. Every year at this time, we celebrate the achievements of Black Americans. It's time for recognizing the central role of African Americans in United States history and culture. The origin of Black History Month dates back to the 1920s, when Harvard-trained historian Carter G. Woodson founded the first celebration in February 1926. Since 1976, every U.S. president has officially designated the month of February as Black History Month and has endorsed a specific theme. The Black History Month 2024 theme, African Americans and the Arts, explores the key influence of African Americans have had in the fields of visual and performing arts, literature, fashion, folklore, language, film, music, architecture, culinary, and other forms of cultural expression. I am honored to introduce to you a guest speaker for this evening, our good friend, the Reverend Dr. Jeffrey Hooker, pastor of Grace United Methodist Church and the Valley Street Fire Department's chaplain, to say a few words about Black History Month. Reverend.
Good evening, friends.
Good evening.
As we gather here to take a moment, it's my honor to share with you a few words of the inspiring story of Rosa Parks, allowing us to stand as a beacon of courage and resilience in the face of adversity. In the segregated South of the 1950s, Rosa Parks' simple act of refusing to give up her seat on a Montgomery, Alabama bus ignited a flame that would blaze across the nation. On that fateful day, December 1st, 1955, Rosa Parks took a stand by remaining seated. Her action wasn't just about a seat on the bus, it was about claiming dignity and demanding equality. Rosa Parks' quiet strength and unwavering resolve sparked the Montgomery bus boycott, a pivotal moment in the civil rights movement. For 381 days, African Americans in Montgomery chose to walk rather than ride segregated buses, demonstrating their unity and determination to end racial injustice. Beyond her role as a catalyst for change, Rosa Parks was a woman of remarkable character and integrity. She dedicated her life to advocating for civil rights, working tirelessly to dismantle barriers of segregation and discrimination. This evening, friends, as we reflect upon Rosa Parks' legacy, let us not only celebrate her courage, but also recognize the ongoing struggle for equality and justice. Let us draw inspiration from her example and commit ourselves to the pursuit of a more just and equal society for all people. In closing, let us honor Rosa Parks' memory by continuing to stand up, speak out, and strive for a future where every individual is treated with dignity, respect, and equality, all under the law. Thank you.
We have an empty house, we're on camera. In perpetuity. I want to thank Reverend Dr. Jeffrey Hooker for his remarks, and on behalf of the village board and all the residents, the Incorporated Village of Valley Stream, I'm pleased to present you with this citation of our appreciation for your remarks today. If you'd step forward, we'll take a picture with the board. Board. Whatever works out, Anthony, with the board behind us, or
Yeah, that's fine.
everybody okay? Step right, step
Your
left.
mom, I think, move a little more towards the middle. Like the wall cut off it. All right, if I can see you all now. All right, you all took a bunch. All right, perfect.
Cool. I got the envelope for you. Thank you for your time. Thank you very much. Yes, very nice. All right, first resolution, Mr. Clerk.
Resolution 016-24, amend resolution 006-24, approve contract lease agreements.
Move the resolution.
Second. Comments from the board? Comments from the public? Roll call.
Trustee Topperelli.
Yes.
Trustee Thomas.
Yes.
Trustee Wright.
Yes.
Trustee Wazak.
Yes.
Resolution 017-24, minutes.
Move the resolution.
Second. Comments from the board? Comments from the public? Roll call.
Trustee Topperelli.
Yes.
Trustee Thomas.
Yes.
Trustee Wright.
Yes.
Trustee Wazak.
Yes.
Resolution 018-24, tax cert settlement.
Move to resolution.
Second. Comments from the board? Comments from the public? Roll call.
Trustee Topperelli.
Yes.
Trustee Thomas.
Yes.
Trustee Wright.
Yes.
Trustee Wazak.
Yes.
Resolution 019-24, public hearing on expenditure of money under the Community Development Block Grant Program.
Move to resolution.
Second. Comments from the board? Comments from the public? Roll call.
Trustee Toffarelli.
Yes.
Trustee Thomas.
Yes.
Trustee Wright.
Yes.
Trustee Wazza.
Yes.
Resolution 020-24, amend secret resolution 186-23, unlisted action.
Resolution.
Second.
Comments from the board? Comments from the public? Roll call.
Trustee Toffarelli.
Yes.
Trustee Thomas.
Yes.
Trustee Wright.
Yes.
Trustee Wazza.
Yes.
Resolution 021-24, second amendment of memorandum of Verizon land lease agreement.
Move to resolution.
Second.
Comments from the board? Comments from the public? Roll call.
Trustee Toffarelli.
Yes.
Trustee Thomas.
Yes.
Trustee Wright.
Yes.
Trustee Wazak.
Yes.
Resolution 022-24, Nassau County Board of Elections memorandum of agreement.
Move to resolution.
Second.
Comments from the board? Comments from the public? Roll call.
Trustee Toffarelli.
Yes.
Trustee Thomas.
Yes.
Trustee Wright.
Yes.
Trustee Wazak.
Yes.
Resolution 023-24, license agreement Mazda of Valley Stream.
Move to resolution.
Second.
Comments from the board? Comments from the public? Roll call.
Trustee Toffarelli.
Yes.
Trustee Thomas.
Yes.
Trustee Wright.
Yes.
Trustee Wazak.
Yes.
Resolution 024-24, license agreement Mazda of Valley Stream.
Move to resolution.
Second. Comments from the board? Comments from the public? Roll call.
Trustee Toffarelli.
Yes.
Trustee Thomas.
Yes.
Trustee Wright.
Yes.
Trustee Wazak.
Yes.
Resolution 025-24, Village of Valley Stream Community Resiliency, Economics, Sustainability and Technology Program, Presswood Project, excuse me.
Move the resolution.
Comments from the board? Comments from the public? Roll call.
Trustee Toffarelli.
Yes.
Trustee Thomas.
Yes.
Trustee Wright.
Yes.
Trustee Wazak.
Yes.
Resolution 026-24, addition to extension of contract.
Move to resolution. Second. Comments from the board? Comments from the public? Roll call.
Trustee Toffarelli.
Yes.
Trustee Thomas.
Yes.
Trustee Wright.
Yes.
Trustee Wazak.
Yes.
Resolution 027-24, approved contract agreements.
Move to resolution.
Second. Comments from the board? Comments from the public? Roll call.
Trustee Toffarelli.
Yes.
Trustee Thomas.
Yes.
Trustee Wright.
Yes.
Trustee Wazak.
Yes.
Resolution 028-24, parking permit fees.
Move to resolution.
Second.
Comments from the board? Comments from the public? Roll call.
Trustee Toffarelli.
Yes.
Trustee Thomas.
Yes.
Trustee Wright.
Yes.
Trustee Wazak.
Yes.
Resolution 029-24, demand for Crawford parking permits.
Move the resolution. Second. Comments from the board? No, residents? No, not profit. Not profit. The nonprofit is the agreement with the church. $75. So they do. Yes, there was an agreement reached. Yes, it is. Yes. No problem. We get further feelings. Right. Further comments from the board? Comments from the public? Yes, sir. Step up to the microphone, please. Identify yourself.
Thank you very much. My name is Henry Moriello. I'm from Bethlehem Assembly of God. Is this the proper resolution for permits to be issued to them? So I just was wondering the terms and conditions under which those permits are going to be granted, because I understand that's at the discretion of this. board.
Right, well, that's part of what this motion was about, to authorize the village clerk's office to issue those business permits. He wasn't able to issue them without having a resolution from us.
Got it.
So now that we have the resolution, he is now authorized to sell the permits.
Oh, okay, great. Will we just be able to correspond with Mr. Hunter on those?
I believe that's correct, yes.
So then we'll just be in touch with your office.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Any further comments from the public? Well, we can check that. Mike can check that. Thank you. Roll call. Roll call.
Trustee Taffarelli,
Yes.
trustee Thomas,
Yes.
trustee Wright,
Yes.
trustee Wazza.
Yes.
Resolution 030-24 recreation and park fees.
Move the resolution.
Thank you. Comments from the board? Comments from the public? Roll call.
Trustee Taffarelli,
Yes.
trustee Thomas. Trustee Wright,
Yes.
trustee Wazza.
Yes.
Resolution 031-24 signage.
Moves the resolution. Second.
Comments from the board? Comments from the public? Roll call.
Trustee Taffarelli,
Yes.
trustee Thomas,
Yes.
trustee Wright,
Yes.
trustee Wazza.
Yes.
Resolution 032-24 use of village facilities.
Moves the resolution. Second.
Comments from the board? Comments from the public? Roll call.
Trustee Taffarelli,
Yes.
trustee Thomas,
Yes.
trustee Wright,
Yes.
trustee Wazza.
Yeah.
Resolution 033-24 bond resolution dated February 26, 2024, authorizing the issuance of up to $2 million aggregate principal amount serial bonds of the Village of Valley Stream, New York, pursuant to the local finance law to finance the cost of reconstruction of various streets in the village.
Resolution. Second. Comments from the board? Comments from the public? Roll call.
Trustee Taffarelli?
Yeah.
Trustee Thomas?
Yes.
Trustee Wright?
Yes.
Trustee Wazza?
Yes.
Resolution 034-24, resolution dated February 26, 2024, authorizing the issuance of up to $400,000 aggregate principal amount serial bonds of the Village of Valley Stream, New York, pursuant to the local finance law to finance the cost of various vehicle fleet additions.
Move the resolution. Second.
Comments from the board? Comments from the public? Roll call.
Trustee Taffarelli,
Yes.
trustee Thomas,
Yes.
trustee Ray,
Yes.
trustee Wazza.
Yes.
Resolution 035-24 bond resolution dated February 26, 2024, authorizing the issuance of up to $400,000 aggregate principal amount serial bonds of the Village of Valley Stream, New York, pursuant to the local finance law to finance the cost of fire department equipment.
Move the resolution.
Second. Comments from the board? Comments from the public? Roll call.
Trustee Taffarelli,
Yes.
trustee Thomas,
Yes.
trustee Wright,
Yes.
trustee Wazza.
Yeah.
Resolution 036-24 payment of audited vouchers.
I hereby move that the abstract of audited vouchers be paid as soon as same is approved by the majority. Move the resolution.
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Taffarelli,
Yes.
trustee Thomas,
Yes.
trustee Wright,
Yes.
trustee Wazza.
Yes.
I need a motion to close.
Motion to close.
Second. Roll call.
Trustee Taffarelli,
Yes.
trustee Thomas,
Yes.
trustee Wright,
Yes.
trustee Wazza,
Yes.
Mayor Flynn.
Yes. At this time, we are open for public comments. Come on down, or up, as the case may be.
Hi, Jenna Rossitano, 261 Cornwall Avenue, Valley Stream, New York. Good evening, gentlemen. Near one of my homes, there is a single family house has been turned into 3 or 4 apartments. The backyard, once beautiful and lush, is now a parking lot.
Do we have the address, Jen?
Absolutely, and I've spoken to Nick about this a number of times. They don't take care of the property.
Because Jay would know if it was in court, because we have a couple of them. We have the addresses. That obviously, once Nick writes summonses, it goes before the judge. And there's a lot of them, I'm gonna say 18, that are
Right.
currently before the judge. So I'm not cutting you off here, by all
Sure.
means you can explain. But I just want to confirm the address. If you don't want to say it out loud, you can just pass it over to Jay. But we just, if it's already in court, Great, if it's not, we'll make sure it is.
I
But I
don't
assume
know
if you
this.
spoke to Nick.
Many times about it,
I would guarantee if you spoke to Nick that it's in court.
so my question is, it seems to be that there's a few people who buy these homes and turn them over. Is there anything that can be done before they get to that point?
It's been very, very hard. There's fraud involved. You know, you have it looks like a single person or a couple buying a home. And they're at the closing and we just get the deeds from the county and the documents from the county. And the next thing we know, they're turning them into illegal B&Bs,
Right,
legal 2 and 3 family homes. And I can tell you, there's no doubt in my mind, I drive Nick crazy because as I drive around and I see there's an extra car or two in the parking lot. In the driveway, I realize something's going on, you know, when, for example, maybe an elderly widow lived there for many years. And I know, I just texted him Friday morning with one, and he said, I've written 17 summonses, they're before the judge. So that's why I know it's a process. So the problem is because it's fraud and they're good at it, no, we can't get it before the fact. We have to catch them in the act.
catch them in the act.
Of renting.
We usually get them with too many cars, property maintenance, as you mentioned. Sometimes, we see people, entering and exiting through a side door at all times. You know, it's one thing you go in your basement or doing the laundry. So then when you realize there's different entrances that hadn't been used before, and most of the time, 90% of the time, it's a neighbor saying, you know, we knew Mrs. McGillicuddy lived there for 50 years. And now there's people coming in the back door and the front door and the side door, and there's all different families and ethnicities and ages, and it doesn't seem legit.
Well, this one had a mailbox on the basement stairs
There you go.
going down. And it's not there anymore. Because I'm
Yes,
sure
You
after.
could probably thank Nick for that. So the
Yeah,
process-
no, Nick is great. He will answer all my internet questions as long as I ask. He's really, really wonderful. When it rains, and we've had some really bad storms this year, the runoff into the street is unbelievable. So there's no way to get people like that as well. I mean, it's bad for the neighbors who get flooding in their basements because of things like this, which is,
Is that the same? Yes, and we've summoned people who have like paved over their front yards and paved over their back yards.
Register. It's the law. Requiring you to register.
Correct.
That they.
Correct. Right, that's one of the things Nick was, you know, on top of.
Right, but it's beautiful.
Yeah. And most of the ones like the ones that Jen is pointing out, haven't filed with me. They try to stay under the rate.
Yeah, because we do inspections on the ones that file rental permit. So if somebody filed a rental permit and had a house divided into 4 apartments, it didn't pass inspection. Obviously, they have a basement apartment, they're not passing.
right, this is
So
obvious.
they're not doing permits for the construction inside, they're not doing permits for the rentals, they're just going
And
around every.
We
single-
also, aside from the neighbors and us and everybody calling them in, the fire department calls them in all the time. Whenever they go to an alarm and they see illegal subdivisions. And the slight benefit Nick wishes he had, the fire department takes possession of the building during an alarm. So, by law, when you call in a fire alarm, the fire department takes possession of your home until it deems it safe for you to re-enter.
Oh, I
So-
know.
We keep, I know, that's, no, right? So we keep possession of the home, and this way we can get Nick and code enforcement, everybody in to write summonses. While we still have possession, because they don't have to let us in.
Understood. So if this is a known 3-apartment house, which used to be a single family house, what happens if there are, say, 25 summonses and they just don't pay? I mean, that's what I'm assuming
It
happens.
escalates through the court system. I'm not an expert at all in the court system. Maybe Michael's a little better in our court. But the judge goes through several chances, several timeframes and windows of opportunity. Maybe postponements if they have representation, and then it gradually escalates
Mhm.
further and further. You know, then they have the bench warrant and the like. It's also considered.
Options available, correct. But yeah, fortunately, the first step really is done through. Summonses that have been issued, getting them resolved, either by guilty pleas or settlements or agreeing to accept a certain monetary fine. That's the first step.
So if they get fined, they can still continue to do this because the fine probably isn't as much as
Well,
they're
when you spoke
making.
to the judge, the last fine that Nick told me about was $22,000.
Correct.
Mhm.
So it wasn't like they got a $250 fine.
And
It
if
was
they,
$22,000.
if they don't pay to, what happens? They
I
arrested?
can't answer.
Paid?
Once you go into the
If they
courts,
don't-
we lost.
there are a lot of methods to go at that point in time, but quite frankly, it would have to be so egregious. Large, of such a lengthy period of time in order to reasonably expect that you could accomplish it. Right, courts are very reluctant to take certain proceedings in front of the Supreme Court. And if you're anticipating you're going to get a relief like you're hoping for on that first appearance before the court's just not going to happen. Fortunately, it does take time. And as I say, the second best place to go in the first instance is the justice court. Tickets issued by the court of administration. Let the tickets play out. If they continue to abuse it, as I say, the option downstream of these things is to go into the Supreme Court, but that gets very expensive for the village as well.
So they kind of hold you hostage.
Unfortunately, some people know the inner workings of the way this happens. And they
Loopholes,
manipulate,
you mean.
yeah, well, inner workings, that was trying to be more polite. And oftentimes you find, I'm not suggesting that's the case in this particular case, but these are property owners who have been through this before and know how to work their way through the system as slowly as possible.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'll tell you where it is. It's on Mugs Drive. I probably know.
You know the number?
I don't,
So.
but he said that he said it's well known.
Okay, we'll hold that.
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me. Nick gave me a list last month of I think it's about 17. 17, 18, he gave me a list, and last month I had it up here with me. And I can tell you if it was on the list, but I'm saying I didn't have it with me tonight.
Sure, all right, thank you, that's all.
You're welcome. Further comments from the public? Thank you for coming, get home safely.